Hello there, and welcome to day number 45 on the road to 2000 ELO Rapid Series. We're playing with the black pieces against the 1783 from France. Ooh, Paris, France. Peut-être. I do speak a little bit of French because I am from Quebec. What is this move, Bishop C4? This looks like it's a London. How do I typically play against a London? So I usually get knight f3. So we can play knight c6. Um, and go for a typical London setup. I like going d6 here, trying to trade off the bishops. I don't think my bishop's going to be particularly good on either of these squares, so I don't really mind blocking it in. We're going to try to play bishop e6 in the future if ever we want to trade off this bishop. And now, I mean, f5 looks interesting. I'm not going to play f5. Knight f6, maybe. We can even go for a Fee and Kettle setup, but like that looks like it just stares into a wall. Um, Perhaps I can try going for this. So let's go knight f6. They can't really play bishop g5. My opponent's playing fast. Let's try to trade off the bishops. I can imagine this being good for me, even if I lose. Um, if I have to double my pawns. Now the bishop slides onto b5. Do I go a6 is the question. A6 takes. I don't mind that too much. The question is, does this pawn become a big weakness? I don't think so. I don't really mind this. If okay, so he's going back. Now I can probably go here. I can probably go b5 as well. b5 back forces a trade of bishops, which I don't think is great for me. Not going to lie. Let's think about this. Maybe I should just play bishop e7. I wonder where I want my knight to be. Here, takes, knight here. Knight g6? Maybe I can start by going knight g6. So I have to castle first in that case. So do I play bishop e7? I think I do. I think I play bishop e7. Try to castle. Actually, I can't castle. I can't bring my knight here anymore. What am I doing? That was silly. I should have just played b5 first. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. We'll castle now. Castle, knight g5. No biggie. b5 here. If this pawn wasn't there, it would be nice. Do I have tactics with knight takes? It's always something to consider. Bishop here would be a nice move, actually. So here, back, bishop here. Well, no, here, probably back to c2. If this way we trade. This. Where does the queen go? Let's play this. I don't see a downside immediately. Takes, queen takes. Is that a move? I was thinking here. Now the problem is just this, I guess. Um, let's just play. This knight is hanging now. Queen d7 maybe. Although the knight can't really be attacked at the moment, so it's not a big deal. Maybe I can just castle. I don't see any good squares to attack the knight. So even though it's hanging, I mean, it's loose pieces get dropped. That is the thing for sure. But at the same time, this knight right now, isn't really that in trouble. Can you play here? No, just drops this pawn. Um, where do I want this knight to be? Knight a5, knight c4, but then it just gets kicked out, doesn't go anywhere. Let's think. Let's think. Can I go knight e7? c5. Knight here? No. Oh yeah, okay, let's think about this. Maybe I go queen d7. Just protecting, doubling up against the pawn on h3. I can already calculate some sacrifices. They don't always work though, that's the one problem. Takes, here, knight here, let's say. This could be fun. Could be fun. We should probably set it up more though. Takes here. Knight here is the annoying part, and this queen's defending this square. But now I'm thinking just queen here. The queen can't step into trade, and then this knight move would be really good for me. What's the defense? Takes, takes, queen takes, knight there, queen back. I kind of want to play it. Because I don't really see any other way of making progress right now. I'm sure there is one. But this seems way more exciting. If I could bring a rook in, that would probably be better. But right now my bishop's blocking and everything. Bishop d8 to bring the rook in? Or I'll just go for it. I'm down on the clock. Why not? Why not? Okay, they're playing fast. They must see something. Okay, but this... Can I just play slowly? So let's start with here. The queen can trade, though. Knight here doesn't work. Now I really wish I had a way to bring my bishop or knight in the game. Probably should have set it up a little bit more. Let's go queen here. That was the initial plan. This was indeed the initial plan. Knight this way, queen check. I'm gonna win this. Oh no, I'm not winning this pawn actually. Whoopsies. Okay, but he's helping me open it up. That doesn't seem good. Takes. Pawn takes, knight takes. This seems bad. I don't know what the idea is here. We're gonna go for it. Okay, but now, do I not have stuff here for sure? Okay, we can threaten mate. Takes, takes. And then we can bring the knight in. I feel like that must be good. Let's go for it. So if he takes, this is mate. So here, check. And I can bring the knight, and then that creates a huge attacking possibility. And I feel like this has to be really good for me. Because now knight f3 looks really strong. I don't see a way to keep the queen on the board unless if I'm missing something, which is entirely possible in these attacking ideas, but it looks really strong. And yes, I'm down a piece, but I want 3 pawns, so even if this somehow doesn't work... No, there's no way to stop this. How do you stop this? You have to sack the queen. This is mate. You can't even step in here. Oh my, I have to play more attacking chess. This is fun. This is fun. We'll see in the analysis how sound it was, but if I'm not mistaken, this is just completely winning, which is beautiful. Is there any way to stop this at all? Not even bishop here, because this is just mate. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to stop this besides sacking the queen. Which, you know, temporary solution. Solution's not even the right word. Temporary stopgap, maybe. But checkmate is coming, mind you. And that's why it's good in a rapid game. If you're playing against an opponent who is playing something that seems ambitious, attacking, take your time. My opponent played this so fast. Didn't really evaluate the threat. First of all, hung a pawn. I guess they're trying to set up mating ideas, but there was nothing there. Now we can just play here, here, probably. Bishop here. What are they going to do? If they attack my queen, it's fine. There's nothing that wins it. Bishop e5. Now, yeah, this looks great. This looks great. And I have way too much time on the clock to flag this one. I mean, it would be very impressive if somehow I managed to not win. um, Okay, let's go here. We're going to trap the king, and we're setting up some kind of mate probably here. This is not mate yet, actually. Interesting. Interesting. How do I checkmate? Here, here. Maybe that's one thing I can work on. Oh, we can just bring in the rook. The king's completely immobilized. Rook here loses. Oh, it doesn't lose. Um, so my idea was rook e8, rook e6, rook g6. Should win. The king's completely trapped. That's the thing I'm counting on. Now the knight can step in now to block. The knight's still not attacking anything. I'm not too worried. And yeah, rook g6 should be crushing. I mean, they can push this pawn, I guess, and have this square. But once again, temporary solution doesn't seem like it amounts to much. Some of this is calculation, some of this is intuition. I don't always walk through everything that's going on in my head while playing the game. I obviously try to communicate my thought process during the game so that for those of you watching, you're able to follow along with what's going on in my mind and what's the reason behind the decisions I'm making. But sometimes I'll just calculate in my head. So I literally will think, okay, if this piece takes this, then my next move is this, and then their response is this, and I go 2, 3, 4 moves ahead, or I try to, and not necessarily for the entire game. I try to follow individual lines. Sometimes it works better than others. Um, okay, we'll go rook g6. They'll block, and we'll win another pawn at the very least. And you know what's instructive here is that after knight takes back, um, we actually probably have just h5. Two. Yeah, we probably just have h5. H5, there's this. Then we just play something like rook g5, and then we're fine. Counting on the pin. So another rule of chess, if you want to get better at this game, um, is that you don't always have to immediately convert on advantages. Sometimes, if you're doing good, try to keep doing good and do better. Usually that applies when pins are on the board, when your opponent's pieces are trapped. You don't always have to take the pinned piece, you don't always have to take the trapped piece. You can keep playing on because you know that they don't have a getaway or an escape. You should always reevaluate every time just to make sure of that, but you can always increase the advantage of your position by seeing if there are better moves available instead of immediately cashing in on something. So yeah, great game. We'll take a look at the analysis. 1767 ELO now. We're moving up. We're moving up fast. Love to see it. Analysis time, baby. So this game started with e4. We played e5, obviously, and bishop c4 is just called the bishop's opening, apparently. Played knight c6 here, and after c3, d6, which is apparently an inaccuracy, but it's totally fine. Plus 0.4, 0.5, not too uncommon for openings. And queen e2 here, interesting move. I decided to play knight f6. H3 a little slow, and now black is actually better. But I go for this bishop trade, which is completely equal. But the bishop decides not to take. And bishop taking would have been the best move, actually. Here I'm supposed to play d5 because I can. Um, Although d5 looks interesting to me because d5, let's say takes. Oh, queen takes d5. Gotcha. Okay, because I was gonna say bishop takes d5 looks really bad. Um, in this case, it's not that bad, but it doesn't look good. Bishop e7. Huh. Okay, I guess it's not that bad. Even though we're down a pawn, I guess it's because we have this threat and we have nicely developed pieces. We have castling ready, and the bishop and queen are kind of out in the open. Interesting enough. Okay. I played a6, asking the bishop what it's doing. Bishop steps back. Bishop e7, preparing castling, and now knight f3 happens. So afterwards, b5 is on the table. When the bishop steps back, I castle. Castling happens for my opponent as well, and I play queen d7. And this results in the game we just saw because I go a little sicko mode here and I decide to play bishop takes on h3, which is given a two question mark a blunder, 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 blunder. But let's see exactly why it's a blunder because there's only one right way to play this. G takes h3, queen takes, and white only has two moves that don't lose here. And to my opponent's credit, they find the best move, knight h2. And white is just +2 in this position. They are up a full piece just for two pawns, but the compensation's massive. One thing people sometimes don't understand, or at least beginning chess players don't understand, is that one of the first things you learn is the point value system for the pieces. How a pawn is worth 1 point, a knight or a bishop is worth 3 points. Now, that doesn't mean that if you won three pawns for giving up your knight, that it's an equal game. Almost always, giving up your knight will be worse. If you think about it, the reason why is because a knight on the board, or a bishop on the board, or any piece on the board that has the ability to exert pressure or dominance on a bunch of different squares has a lot more influence on a game than a pawn that can only control two files to its left and right and also block in one file. If you think about it that way, you shouldn't always consider just the point evaluation of your pieces and your material. You should also consider the influence or impact that specific piece will have on the game when evaluating whether or not you want to make a trade. Sometimes a pawn is going to be incredibly valuable. If a pawn is close to promotion, or if two pawns are working together in order to create promotion possibilities, those pawns are significantly stronger than a random other pawn. So that's why chess is always a game that lacks absolutes. There's no rule in chess, there's no one specific sort of guide to ensuring that you're always going to win or that you're always going to follow a certain material guideline. You should always play dynamically. Read the board, understand how powerful your pieces are, or at least try to, and you'll get better at it. You'll develop that sense of intuition. I'm still working on it myself. And yeah, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. It's why here, even though technically I'm only down 1 point of material, the engine says I'm practically down 2 whole points worth of material with the +2 that's given by the engine. So yeah, very interesting stuff to consider. Um, I play queen h4. My idea is to reroute to a square where I have a check. Um, Also to add pressure to this pawn on e4, which I can't win right now because it's defended by two pieces, but I can add pressure to. And here my opponent makes a big mistake, and I don't understand this move. I still don't understand this move. d4, yeah, maybe the idea is d4 takes something like e4 and then queen d3, trying to create checkmating ideas, but I mean, it's just not good. I take the pawn, and then taking back is terrible. Taking back is really bad, and that's what loses the game because afterwards I have knight takes on d4, which attacks the queen and the bishop. And here I can actually just take the bishop because that removes the queen from the defense of the king. The queen can never access these squares to block checks. If I take, I don't take though because I see this nice idea, and apparently it's an inaccuracy, but we'll see why. Um, the idea I like a lot, right? Because if anything is played. If queen takes knight, this is checkmate, right? That's just game over. So they can't do that. They have to respond to checkmate, which means that I thought they had to take. What I missed is that they can also defend this knight, and I didn't see that. So I'm curious if queen g3 is a move actually now. Now that I look at it, oh, queen g3 is a move. Okay, I didn't see all the engine lines. The best move is bishop f4, um, which makes a lot of sense. I feel like in an instant, any strong chess player, any master would play this move. It develops a piece. It protects the threat. It also maintains the attack on the opposing side's piece. It just really good. It's good on all cylinders, and this is the only move to maintain equality in a position where I'm completely the one attacking. And then here I'd have to consider a couple of different moves. Um, I maybe would think about g5. Um, but g5 just bishop g3, and there's nothing there. So yeah, I'd probably have to just take. Knight takes. Oh wow, knight takes and bishop takes. Yeah, okay, gotcha. And then knight takes e2 to not lose my knight. And then yeah, and then we play on. And here it's interesting. But instead, wait, why is queen g3 bad? That's what I wanted to see. Queen g3 is bad because oh, I missed the fork. Yeah, so knight e2 is a check that also attacks the queen. So you win a queen on the next move because the king has to move. Whenever a knight check happens, the opponent's king has to move. There's no choice. Um, or take the piece, obviously, that's attacking, take the knight. So, anyways, knight takes, queen takes, and I'm glad I calculated this right. Knight f3, beautiful move. And one thing I'm realizing as I'm progressing with my elo is that I'm seeing this stuff earlier on. Like I saw this line essentially from here. From here, I saw this line. I played knight g4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 moves ahead. I'm really glad I did, and the conversion was very smooth too. Like not a single mistake here to end the game. And h4, h5, best move. The knight is pinned, so you just play h4. If e5, that would be the only concern, but um, I would have. Can you just play h4 anyways? Wow, I would have probably played rook g5. Yeah, rook g5 is fine. That's what I would have gone for. But apparently you can just play h4. You can just not care, which makes sense. I mean, you're completely winning. Anyways, this is a nice win. Very very happy with this one. I played with 85% accuracy, I think. Um, 85% accuracy, yeah. So pretty solid for a game where I did a full on blunder. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy with this. And we'll see if we can keep moving on up. 1800 is getting closer and closer, more and more achievable as the days go by. So let's see if we can get it done by December. I mean, the initial goal was by the end of 2024, but now it's looking very possible much earlier on. So we'll see what happens. I'm also going to dedicate much more time to chess once I'm in Singapore. So with that should be next week. So in 7 or 8 days, I'll be traveling to Singapore. I'll play the Singapore International Open there. But I'll be there a few days early, and when I'm there, I'm probably going to spend a lot of time practicing, playing, studying. So who knows? Who knows where the progress is going to go? I'm excited to see exactly what happens and how my journey plays out. But thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it a ton. As always, y'all are the best. I've really appreciated the encouragement, the support I've gotten so far. And yeah, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. I post a video every single day. I'm also posting different stuff, like tournament recaps. I'm planning some other content ideas, such as opening sort of tutorials from somebody who's rated as an intermediate player. I think that could be insightful. So, yeah, let me know if that's something you'd want to watch, and if you have ideas of your own. And yeah, please do subscribe, like, comment, the usual. It helps. And thanks so much once again. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care and have a good one. Bye bye.